started with the note. It read, "Would you kindly put these helicopter blades on your power armor and roleplay as a vertibird?" And I did. They say it's fun to fly, but it's coming back down to Earth that hurts. You know what? They were right. Welcome to Rapture, my very first camp build video, but also my very first shelter build. With the addition of shelters, I think one of the challenges people have is trying to think of what can you do with this amount of space. One of the concepts that made sense to me was to find a way to connect them and tell a little bit of a story. So picking one of my favorite games of all time next to the Fallout series, the BIOSHOCK series, made perfect sense. So you can see the approach here. I wanted to try and capture the feeling that players have when playing BIOSHOCK in as best a way as possible. This guy doesn't row. If you've played Infinite, you get that reference. The tower itself here is something particularly beautiful. I'm happy with how it came out. Really, it's just wallpaper applied to the outside. You just flip the walls. These beautiful Art Deco lamps clipped really well into the building itself. If you just build all doorways and then change it to a flat surface. And then I just had set the lamps on a shelf and the effect worked perfectly. There's a little landing here with some nice tile. And then this isn't obviously in the game, but I needed some kind of a place to hang my hat. So consider this a welcoming center of sorts where a caretaker or someone would stay. I tried to keep it as practical as possible. If you've played Infinite, when you get in there, when you first enter the lighthouse, you see some of the lighthouse keepers' belongings, chairs, beds, etc. This organ that was recently added is one of the most fun additions to the game that I've seen in a while. It's a lot of fun to play, and it makes just the weirdest, quirkiest noise. The awnings, too, that they added recently, I think that was part of the White Spring bundle, came at the perfect time. If you want to do like a spring fair, or you want to have kind of fancy vintage awnings on the outside of your house, these work perfectly. And then around the back here, I just had moved all of the kind of clutter. We don't have the most attractive skins for these. So because they didn't really fit elegantly into the theme, I kind of stuffed everything back here. So if people are traveling to the camp, all of that kind of crafting stuff is tucked to the back so it doesn't ruin the aesthetic, so to speak. And I also have to say that this is the first camp I've built in the mire. And the God rays here, particularly at night, with the fog, it just has so much ambiance. I wish I'd have built here before. The bungalow, it occurred to me, made a really wonderful kind of oversized bathysphere. So I clipped 2 lights onto the front of that and tried to get it as close as possible to the foundation. So it looked like this was like a little loading area where guests headed to Rapture could toss their suitcases before headed down. These computer banks also are one of my favorite new additions. They're so beautifully designed with all of the working dials and lights. And through the hatchway here, head down to Rapture. So now we enter the bathysphere station area. So this first bit, I just kind of had a main hallway, try to put as much wood and curtains to kind of frame it as possible. And then along the ceiling, I just clipped some flooring. I hear a noise.
Is this something new?
Okay. Right. Well, yeah. Welcome to Bathysphere Station. I have seen a lot of people doing aquariums now that we have the glass walls, and the effect is really great, particularly if you take some of the vegetation, the brush here, and pair it with these plants, add some nice little lighting to light up the area. And then I also have the globe here, which is just kind of fun to play with. It also fit the aesthetic well, as far as the period goes. Around here, the Rapture Metro sign that you see when you first arrive, I just clipped the TV into a wall, turn it back to a flat surface, so you get something that looks like, oh, there's a lot of blood here on the floor. Something that looks like it was just mounted to the wall instead of a TV, just kind of hovering. Nice jukebox. I better get my trusty wrench here.
I'll smell your feet.
What?
I mean, I'll wrap you in a sheet.
We gotta kill the splicer. Okay, I think she's dead. Sure, I'll turn that off, and let's get the hell out of here. This is the Welcome Center for Rapture, my version of it in the game. The unfinished walls, oh god, I love this cat too, it's just fun to play with. I wish we had more fun steampunky animatronics like this. The way that the walls are kind of just unfinished and grungy, which is really just the back side of the brick walls, fit well. When you pair it with the black and white tile, the effect is great. And then Rapture has so many signs everywhere. Just lots of advertisements. You see more of the fish tanks here. And then around the corner, you have kind of the jailhouse walls. It's just a little bit like Fontaine's Fisheries. The lamps with streamers make really convincing jellyfish. They work well. Then over here, have another kind of, see a little bit of the outside of Rapture with the building there. One of the pump signs. More signs up there. The Welcome to Rapture sign. And when you come up to the main landing, one of the scenes at the very beginning there, just before you get your plasmid, you come around the corner here, and you see the diorama of Rapture. Since we didn't have that, I put the train there. So it's kind of a little Easter egg. The toxic, I think it's the toxic barrels. Those work really well. They add a little bit of light in there. And then right outside the Kashmir restaurant here, there's a piano. Then we head upstairs. But let's take a look over here first, and I'll show you the... those, they make really good jellyfish if you take those lamps. I tried some of the other lamps, but they ended up being too big. Some simple club chairs there, and my version of the Gatherer's Garden. Sure, I'll shoot myself up. What the heck? Oh, what? that there is a big daddy and a little sister. She's not so little anymore. She looks more like a teenager, but this is fine. And that's a lot of blood. So now once they leave, let's get out of here and we'll press forward into the Kashmir restaurant. One of the tricks with the glass walls in here, there's actually double walls, so I use the blue wallpaper there to kind of mask it a little bit, make it look like it's deep underwater. And then this back part, I decorated as just the Kashmir restaurant entryway. So if guests are waiting for reservations, they come in here, hang out a little bit, and then we can head through. This is Fort Frolic and Mercury Suites, but it looks like something's maybe going on in here. So let's go see what's going on here. Yeah, just your typical Black Friday here at the mall. One of the ideas that I had for this larger atrium space, I borrowed from theater and film, and I just took wall flats and staggered them a little bit, give them interesting angles. And then back here, I wanted to create store displays. So I just took doors and then parked one of the glass walls in front of it, and then just decorated the back so it looked like a store window, some things that people could shop in. All right, enough is enough. I think this is really distracting, trying to shop and show you guys. And let's just go over here. Let's see if I can creep up on her. Ah, goddamn splicers. And a 1, and a 2, yep, nope, yep, nope, yep, yep, nope, yep. I die. All right, yep, and okay, good. Ah, peace and quiet. Oh, Big Daddy, ow. I'm a one-hit wonder with this wrench. Right. Let's head upstairs here and let's see the second level here at Fort Frolic. Right around the corner here, we have a little cafe. And then back down this long hallway, we have some of the Mercury Suites. Nice little vending machine. Some milk and Nuka-Cola, cigarettes. And then we'll head up here to, this is my official Mercury Suite here at Fort Frolic, so it's where I hang my hat. Some music playing. Just a cozy little spot to... Oh dear, that's... Okay. Thanks for tuning in, and welcome to Rapture.
Move on out, Captain. So long.